Hi everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And today I'm going to take you someplace that we've never taken you before. If you've been following us for any amount of time, you know that we live on 43 acres in high altitude northern Arizona. We're off-grid, and we live a long way from pavement. Now, not a long way by some standards, but, you know, we've got, I don't know, several miles before we hit pavement. Probably about 4.5. And that dirt road is maintained by the good graces of a neighbor. So, when we have rain, when we have snow, when we have anything that goes wrong, that road can be quite a challenge. Now, we developed our affinity for having a reasonable pantry probably 45 years ago, something like that. When we lived in New Mexico, we were poor college students, and we were stuck with the vagaries of jobs. And somebody's funding might get cut at the university, or it was late coming in, or any kind of food might happen. And the problem with that was they might say, well, we're cutting back all the jobs for this month, and you know, you get half your thing, or just go home for a couple of weeks or whatever. Well, you know, the bills come in every day and every week and every month, irregardless of whether you have money or not. So we developed a habit of picking up that little bit extra whenever we could. And when we were doing better and everything like that, we continued that process. Now, on again, off again over the years, we've gotten more in stock, less in stock, whatever. But when we moved out here, we knew that we were going to be in a situation where the road could wash out, a vehicle could die, and once you get to the pavement, it's like 22 miles to our nearest grocery store, one way. We have come up in the world. We now have a Family Dollar in town. But although it's good for a lot of basics, I certainly do not want to base my dietary habits on Family Dollar. Nothing against Family Dollar, but frozen food, things like frozen pre-cooked hamburgers and stuff like that, is not my idea of what I call healthy food. So we like to cook from scratch. That's a good thing because there's no decent restaurants around here. There used to be one when we were building the house, actually, and we used to eat there several days a week because it would get to be 8 o'clock at night. It was time to shut down the work, and nobody wanted to cook. And we could go over there and get the daily special, a bowl of soup, some sort of a main meal, and salad and stuff like that for cheap. And that was also air conditioned. So that was a triple bonus. But things have changed at that restaurant. They've opened another one in the area. Almost everything they cook has something I'm allergic to, so that takes care of that problem. And to be honest, we like our own cooking better. So we keep a lot in stock. So let me bring you in. Dog food, cat food, rags for the kitchen, a few bits and pieces of odd stuff, and Henry's jacket. There's frequently a jacket or a apron hanging here. Fly swatters in case you can't find the one you're looking for. And then we go in. Now, that bucket is not usually sitting on the floor like that. I have it there for a reason. It's because I want to talk to you about it. But I built this pantry. Henry and I designed it. And I built all the shelving that's made out of wood. And they're not super deep. They're only about 1 foot deep. But that's for a reason. We figured out a long time ago that having pantry shelves that were, 36 inches deep is great, except what you need is always in the back. So we decided we didn't want to do that. We wanted to have adjustable shelves, and we wanted them to be relatively shallow. Now, as with many things when you're building, things sometimes go awry. All these shelves here that I'm showing you right now, I built those. The corner thingy here was supposed to be a closet. And I'd actually planned to do the shelves slightly differently in there. But what happened was this beast happened. And this is a propane freezer. The original information we got on how big the propane freezer was going to be and what exactly style it was and everything else turned out to be not correct. So the corner closet here kind of got smushed. And I actually wound up never putting a door on it, because if I put a door on it, getting in and out of it was going to be a real serious pain. Once in a rare while, I talk to myself about possibly rebuilding this corner, and then I say, nah, because really. But this corner closet does hold a ton of stuff. Mostly stuff we don't need super often. Lots of jellies and jams and preserves. All of our nuts and stuff live in here. Everything that's in a glass jar is vacuum sealed or canned, one of the two. And then there is back stock on other stuff. Now, I know I've talked to you guys about vacuum sealing nuts and stuff again before. In fact, I think I've showed you how to do it. Our vacuum sealer has a special attachment. You can use it on any wide mouth canning jar. And that's what's going on here, is all these nuts here on this shelf have been vacuum sealed. Now, why, you say, would I want to vacuum seal something? Very simple. Oxygen is what makes nuts go rancid. If you store nuts in jars like this and vacuum seal them, they will last literally for years. We've actually misplaced a jar once or twice in the process of moving things around, and a 1.5 years later, it tastes like it just came fresh off the tree. Another solution is to freeze them. And that's what Henry's folks had always done. And we did it for a while too, but now we find that the space in our freezer is too precious. Let's take a look over here. Zoom. A lot of this stuff is store-bought. You'll notice there's paper towels up top. And those are not the only paper towels we have. Those are the easy access ones. There's also both canned and uncanned bean storage. Now, the uncanned means it's vacuum sealed just like the nuts were. And then there's a bunch in here that's also been canned. So, let's see here, find it. There it is. Those. Pinto beans and black beans. Just happens to be next to a can of professionally canned black beans. And they used to be our favorite black beans, but we have found them inconsistent recently. We like this particular version, which is called the seasoned recipe. And the problem we found was we were getting a bunch that were not seasoned at all. In fact, they were bland. They tasted like cardboard. So we fixed that problem. We now can our own, and we actually like ours better than we ever liked theirs. So, oh well. As you can see, this is an assortment of stuff. We make our own granola and things like that, which is why that says open packs for granola, because those are all ingredients. And yes, things like that box over there that says flax on it actually is full of flaxseed. We buy a lot of case lots from places like Sam's Club or Costco or other big box stores. And we generally try and keep way ahead of anything that we might possibly need. All vinegars are purchased in at least 1-gallon containers, unless it's a specialty vinegar. This corner here, those shelves there, I did not make those. Those are scavenged. Henry went to the dump and brought them back. We have, I think, one more top cabinet and one more bottom cabinet. They were being thrown out, and they are solid plywood. So they've been sanded and thrown up there, and one of these days I will finishing them and reface them and put cabinet doors on. I do want to get that done this year. We are in progress, as always. We're going to see how much more we can get done. One of these cabinets up here, this one to be exact, is mostly flower arranging supplies. I love to have flowers in formal or informal arrangements, and I have a whole stack of different kinds of vases and cups and plates and all kinds of stuff that are used for arranging flowers. Now, this wonderful thing under this white rag back here is our ice cream maker. And it lives there all the time. It always has a rag over it because that keeps it dusty. Less dusty, I should say. There's some stuff right here right now, and also up here, right there, that is only down like this during canning season, because it's things for actually processing veggies and things like that. That is Miss Issa's bed. She likes to sleep up. She does not like sleeping on the floor. So I have a pillow there that she sleeps on, and I change the pillowcase and dust it off and things like that on a regular basis. And it's got spare laundry baskets underneath it. This is our big mess right now. And the reason it's a big mess is these were free containers from the grocery store that used to contain icing. They are in the process of being scrubbed. When they are done being scrubbed, they will be useful for just about anything. They're food safe. We use them a lot actually in the greenhouse for hydroponics. But under here we have another whole stack of food safe buckets. And I want to tell you the story about these buckets.